What's up, everybody? Today we're talking about the impression of increase. So what exactly is the impression of increase? So the impression of increase is that feeling of health, abundance, wealth, and prosperity that you're left with. Sometimes, to begin, let me give you an example of the impression of increase. If you were a child and you got invited to an NBA basketball game, imagine yourself 6 and watching LeBron and KD and everybody just dunk and run up and down the court. Or if you see a plane fly for the first time, you see someone play an instrument, or if you like martial arts, you see like a fight on TV for the first time, or you get in a car, you ride your car for the first time, you go on your date and it actually goes well. That's the impression of increase. That feeling you get home when you get home, that feeling of abundance, of more, of prosperity is the impression of increase. So I'll use a few stories to relay that in my own life. When I was in college, I had a buddy named Payne. Payne was an Asian guy he was a guy from mainland China. And man, when we would go out, he would spend money and not think about it. There was some abundance to him that always seeped into me, helped me think about money in a different way. It also helped me believe and know that I could make it too. I had another buddy named George who went to Mississippi. He got lost in Mississippi. His phone broke in Mississippi, and he literally made his way back to California, just using his mind, using his relationships, using his charisma, his charm, getting on buses, found his way back. Or when I was in California, when I was a young pup in high school, I had a friend named Vianney, and man, I had no money, just turbo broke. And Vianney would always just assure that I always had there's this drink we used to drink, it's called like a boba tea. And Vianney knew I never could afford it, so when we'd go out with our friends, everyone would order, and before I would get there, she'd order two, one for me, one for her. And if I had $2, she had maybe like $5, but she would always spend her last dollar on me, and she always left me with the impression of increase. And fast forward 9, 10 years, I still remember this. I still remember her for that feeling. So people always remember the way they felt. Not exactly what was said, not exactly what you did, but how that made them feel. And if you can channel the impression of increase today, I promise you, you're gonna have a good time and easier path on this life. Why is the impression of increase important? There's a saying that you cannot make a man drink, but you can only show him a way. Or you can bring a horse to the water, but you can't force him to drink. And that's saying that when you give someone the impression of increase, you inspire them to use their own gifts without you feeding them, without any form of control. You naturally kind of spark that seed that's already in them. You help them discover their secret power. And if you can help someone discover their secret power today, you'll win at life. Helping someone discover their secret power could be through a service you offer. Maybe you create a business that helps them realize what's lying dormant within them. And most people need this. So growing up in the inner city was interesting. When I was in Minnesota, I always wondered when I left that, how do you help kids in the inner city? How do you help kids going through states like that? And I realized that instead of paying for programs and doing all these different things, which should help to keep them on the right path, you can leave them all with the impression of increase. So if I had to help kids in the inner city, I would take a bunch of second graders or first graders before they're corrupted by the world. I would take them to New York City. I would let them dream big, see them the possibilities, the capabilities. There's kids that live in New York, that live in Bronx or Brooklyn, that have never even seen Manhattan. They've never seen those buildings, never seen how people walk, how people move. They've never went on vacation. So I would plant that seed within them organically, and let that seed blossom. And those that need it most will take that path and will continue further along that journey. So impression of increase is super important. It's something that you should take away from this video. Think about the moments where you were left with the impression of increase, or think about how you can leave someone today with the impression of increase.